Hi everyone, good evening. Hope you are doing extremely well. And as you all know, today we have an event of scope of with AI and the future. And for this event, we have Mr. Vibin Kishore sir with us. He's a lead implementation engineer at Observe.ai. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Squad Growth. How are you doing?
Hey Shaurya, hey everyone, super excited to actually join this meeting. So yeah, I'm doing great. I hope everyone is doing well too. So I think yeah, we can start the event.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People have started joining in, and I think we can start the event. Let's start with your introduction, sir. Please introduce yourself to our
Okay.
community.
Okay. So as you all know, I'm Vipin and I'm working with Observe on the pre-sales engineering team. So I'm leading the implementations, basically the pre-sales implementations in general. So what we do at Observe is actually an contact center analytics platform where we analyze speech and give insights out of it. So yeah, uh, I'm actually from the south part of India. Uh, I have completed my bachelor's in engineering and I have completed MBA. So that's it. So Shaurya, like, what will be the audience of this meeting? So are they all fresh grads or
So
what's
there's
the split of it?
it's a mix, and mostly they are of first year and second year, mostly.
First or second year? Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
Got it.
So people, if you have any question, put in the message section. We are going to take your questions in the last of the session. And yep, let's start the event with the questions, sir, because people are also very excited to have such insights from this discussion. So
Okay,
yep.
cool.
So, let's start the first question. Like we all know, systems nowadays are more efficient because of artificial intelligence. But according to you, what would be the efficiency, future of efficiency with AI? Like, at what do you think? What would the peak point of efficiency with AI?
Okay. So before getting into the efficiency part, I think let's talk about AI. AI in general is actually an extension of technology. AI is not something like a form of magic, or it's not something godly, or it's nothing like mm, it's nothing like a form of magic, right? So it's actually I'd say statistics and mathematics put in the right way. That's AI. So I think when it comes to efficiency, it actually depends on the way we use AI. For example, um, let's say let's take the example of a AI model that can actually predict cancer from your report, right? So that has to be super efficient because that is involving a human life, and that's really important, right? And also, without AI, it's not going to be possible for a 60-year-old doctor to go through 500 reports and draw observations from it. So AI is going to be super important, and in some cases, it is needed to be super efficient as well. But there are also options where AI can be an overkill. I have actually gone through like some random funny AI things that people have done. For example, mm, a toothbrush company has an AI product called Colibri, which actually puts deep learning algorithms into your toothbrush, and they track your brushing habits and like refine accuracy, like in which way you should brush. I think that's something that's an overkill for something AI or something related to AI, right? I think the future of efficiency with AI, that is actually dependent on the use case. I would say.
Got it, sir. Got it. But second is echo from my side. Yep. So yep, we have questions of audience also. We will take the questions in the end of the session. Now, sir, can you share some tasks which seem impossible without AI, or which seems impossible till date also, but will be possible in the near future because of artificial intelligence?
Okay. Mhm. So one thing I would say, AI with sports, AI that is related to sports. I think AI is super capable, and even Messi and Ronaldo can't hit a ball inside the fence. The AI is so smart, right? So I think the sports AI is going to be something that's gonna boom in the coming years, and no human will be able to take over it, right? I think sports AI would be one thing, and mm, you would have, I mean, the audience in general would have seen some advertisements in Instagram that you can actually search for some terms and it will return a drawing or an image.
Hmm.
For example, a cloud in heaven will return an image that is relevant to the topic. So, painting or art form in general will be more powerful in the coming years, I think. That's the other thing. So, mm, so yeah, the other thing that comes to my mind is social media, like where the AI plays a major role, right? Because let's take the creator and consumer uh, market. For example, in Instagram, only 6 to 8% of people are creating content, and the rest, the 92% are enjoying the content, right? So the company should put efforts on the consumer end, wherein people should spend most of their time watching videos. So I think that will be a very big hit in the future, and also they are doing a good job right now because when you scroll inside the scroll field, right, the post that comes into your feed is not just some random posts. It is AI. It shows you which posts which you will engage more on, right? So yeah, I think that would be a good thing. And also, I would suggest the audience to watch this movie called The Social Dilemma in Netflix. They have like shown this in a very beautiful manner. So how social engineering or human technology is taking over the human time. You just open Instagram and 1 hour goes because you are just scrolling feeds and time is going rapidly. This is going to increase in the future, and I think this is something uh, that is going to be like very powerful in the future.
Got it, sir. Got it. Mhm. 1 second. Yep. And I think this particular question, we should take this question right now. Sir, the question is how to become an AI developer.
Okay.
That's
So,
is asking from our audience.
okay. Becoming an AI developer is, yeah, it's like you should understand the basics of programming, and you should need a good knowledge on statistics and mathematics. So because in AI models and all, you use many algorithms, right? Many mathematical algorithms, something like naive Bayes. There are many. There are vector algorithms. There are a lot of stuff that's going on. So I would suggest anyone who is interested to learn AI, concentrate on your maths and statistics, and then later learn to program it inside the system. So I think that will be a good start. And later in life, I think you can take up courses. There are like very good stuff available on the internet. You can actually go through them.
Got it. Got it. Yep. So, sir, we all know that the future with AI is super bright. Like the efficiency will have no limit. It will just skyrocket, and all the things will just happen in seconds, or I would say milliseconds with AI. But if we talk about the from the perspective of company, or if we talk about the what's the main fear in the market is, what do you think that company will prefer human for job or AI for a particular job?
That's a good question. So if you search on the internet about AI, this is the only thing that's gonna come up in the first. So will AI replace humans? So yeah, I personally believe AI is something that is going to make our jobs easier. I think that makes our life easier and makes the job more enjoyable instead of doing the repetitive task by ourselves. But on the other hand, it obviously gonna reduce the headcount. That's gonna happen for sure. But I think even without AI, this is going to happen, right? Because the technology in general is evolving, and repetitive tasks are replaced by some scripts or algorithms, right? So even without AI, this is going to happen. So I think any company that's in the market will see productivity. And when you take the productivity of a computer and a human, uh, computer is always going to win because humans have put all their efforts to build that particular model. Because maybe let's take for an example, mm, for example, a keyword sentiment analysis model. Maybe hundreds and 200 developers have worked on it. So it's 200 versus one, right? When it comes to the model versus us, and the model will be still evolving. It will be learning on its own. So I think yeah, companies would prefer AI, but it's not going to be something like humans will be eliminated and machines will be working. Humans will always be there. Yeah.
Got. So the another question, I think we should take this. Is it
Mhm.
possible that we will see more robots than human in future?
Mhm. Yeah, it is possible, but I can't say it will happen. But yeah, it's possible.
Got. Um, so AI, I think AI will not only eat the job of a particular, I would say of a particular category of a particular domain, but will try to eat job of other domains also. So, what do you think the evolution of AI will eat job of different domain, or it will, it will keep on a particular domain, like it will eat the job of a particular domain only, or it will eat the job of like almost all the domains? What do you think about it?
Mm, Basically, like eating jobs, I think in general, technology has taken over many jobs already, right? Even in autonomous driving, we are like crossed the stage three out of stage five, and that's a good thing because when you take truck drivers, um, they are like driving for about 15, 20 hours straight, and that's not a good thing because the accident rate is 36% lower with a mission, right? So I think when it comes to like replacing people or taking over jobs, um, AI will actually improve the life of a human, which will in turn change or affect all the domains. It's not going to be a single domain, right? I think yeah, it's about it.
Got it, got it. Mm-hmm. One second. People, if you have any question, just put in the message section. We are going to take your questions, and we have already took two questions. So yep, we will take your questions in the middle of the session also. So the main thing is, if the main thing arises like today, what I would say the booming economy or booming sector is computer sector. Like there are thousands, or I would not say thousands, there are lakhs of engineers or developers who are developing, who are working on some softwares, like making computer big and more strong and more capable of doing things of calculation and all the things. So and artificial intelligence also has a major factor, like, and the word intelligence here automatically tells us that it will think automatically, like it will not require humans anymore to develop a machine in the near future. Like if we developed a particular machine, then it can improve itself by itself. So will AI take over the job of its makers also, like developers who are developing the artificial intelligence?
Um, Yeah, but when you see the bottom line, people are training the AI model with data sets, and these data sets can like provide knowledge or provide some information into the systems to gather knowledge. But that doesn't. But I think that doesn't. I think it will not be equal in terms of human thinking capacity, right? Because I would say the AI at the current stage is a kind of a slave to us, wherein we program something and we ask AI to do it. And what you are like asking is it can program itself, and at some point it decides I don't want to be a slave of you and I want to start a startup of my own. Then it becomes a serious problem, right? Yeah, I think that's if that's happens in the future, I think that's an unavoidable problem and that's a serious problem. But I think at least for the next 20, 30 years, I think this is not going to happen. And even if it happens, that is not going to affect or impact the humans by a large margin, right? There is always going to be something that is going to be developed on the opposite. For example, uh, AI, when you see AI, this can be serious, but when you compare something like digital, one second, yeah. So when you compare something like digital super intelligence or DSI, that is being developed with deep learning and deep gram algorithms, then that's way worse than this, right? So I think yeah, it might happen, but the impact will not be that much. I mean, it will not replace humans, and the robots will become. I mean, the robots will be more number than humans. That's something that is not going to happen. At least in my personal opinion, for the next 100 years, I would say.
Got it. So another question we have, can you please suggest some ideas for preparing AI related jobs?
Yeah, regular job is to, yeah, basically you should have the fundamentals in place. So AI involves deep mathematics and statistics, and anyone in the engineering industry, like omits all the algorithms, right? Omits all the algorithms, so will omits all the theorems. You usually memorize it, right? But I think you should pay more attention. You should search YouTube. For example, let's take the naive bias theorem or algorithm, right? You should Google it and learn the concept. I would say you should not by heart it. You should learn it, and you should try implementing it. You should have the fundamentals ready in place, and after that, I think you should be good to join a AI based company.
So got it. 1 second. Yep. So sir, the worst case, like we have discussed, what may be the worst case we may see in the future using AI. So if the worst case comes, like if the future becomes present, what to do if
Mhm.
AI take all the jobs, and what's the solution for this particular thing?
Mm, let's take this truck driving examples for an instance. So the trucks are going to drive themselves, and they are going to manage between the other trucks. Like for example, one is going to overtake the other. It's going to take care of its by own. But what will happen if it wants out? Maybe it gets a flat tire, or some machinery inside the machine gets fault. How would it require? It can replace a driver, but it would need a person, for example, a mechanical engineer or a technician inside the system, right? For example, take the plane. A plane is going into the sky and lands on the earth, right? So what is the pilot doing? He's just operating it. He's not putting the thrust. He's not putting giving the energy that is needed to hit the sky, right? So anyway, I think this concern will not be possible, because eventually, if machines started living, I think that's a different problem. That will be not related to AI, right? So I get this example in mind. For example, I mean, 20 years back, no one were ready to actually develop the chipsets, the chips which we see in the motherboard, and which we see in the laptops, mobile phones, right? So Taiwan was the only one who took this job. They were the only people who started developing chipsets. And now, 20 years later, Taiwan has about 60 to 70% of the chip production industry, and everyone is depending on them. So yeah, I think that's the concern, right? I think we should take responsibility. So,
Got it, got it.
mm,
So another question we have is, what an engineer do?
okay, that's a good question. So implementation is especially in the pre-sales. pre-sales team, right? Uh, it's the stage where the client hasn't signed a deal yet, but they want to know the value of the product. So what we do as an implementation engineer is we get the data from the client, we clean it, in terms of we make it compatible to be ingested into our system. So we use some programs and algorithms to do that, and later that data gets into our pipeline where the data is processed through all the moments as in the ML moments, machine learning moments. So we analyze the data and put them into a dashboard. And in this dashboard, we like try to give the most of the product, because that's the designing factor, right? So yeah, that will be the overall job role, I would say. You'll be working on integrations. The client may be working with multiple platforms. For example, we are using Zoom for this meeting, and someone would be using WebEx, someone would be using the other, right? So we need to actually integrate with all the platforms that are available. That will be the only or the main job role, and you will have the opportunity to learn more about AI when you join an AI startup, because you'll be having the tech munch sessions. I mean, the tech knowledge transfer sessions every week, and it's really important to know the capability of the software, especially in the field of AI, right? Because we are developing every day. Yeah.
Got it, sir. Got it. So people, if you have any other question, just put in the message section or in the open chat section of event stage. We are waiting for your question. Um, yep, 1 second. Sir, till then, if any question comes, would you like to give any message to our audience? Like the mostly of our audience are of college students, first, second year engineering students. So, would you like to give any advice to our people?
Yeah. I would say everyone take responsibility and be flexible, because let's say let's take the example of a truck driver, right? If the truck driver starts protesting, I don't want AI, I'll be driving, and uh, I'll not do the mechanic job. AI is the only enemy that I have, and you should boycott AI and let me drive. If that happens, he's gonna spend rest of his years driving, which is a serious heavy physical work that might be a big problem for him in the future. What AI is trying to do is to give him a seat and enjoy the journey and do the job only when he's needed, right? So I would say people in our age are like arrogant and young, and they feel that the whole world is stopping them from doing something, but it is themselves who are limiting it, right? So yeah, I would ask them to actually be flexible. So if you see some technology is booming in the future, I would suggest you take it. Maybe let's say I take some 3 programs in the coming year, and I learn 3 new technologies. I might not implement it on the next month, but it's always good to be flexible and learn new things. Uh, Passion is okay. For example, if you are going for money, passion makes no sense, right? So, for example, your passion is to actually, mm, let's say, you are a good flute player, and your passion lies in flute, and no one pays $1 million for you to play the flute, right? So, if you are going after money, you should actually be more flexible and adaptive, and AI can make it really difficult for you, because it can replace your job. It has the possibility. So I would suggest you to be flexible, and yeah, that should be it.
Got it, sir. Got it. And we see we don't have any other question. Guys,
Okay,
this is last chance for you to ask any question. We'll wait for 30 more seconds. Like if we get any question, and then that's good. Else we'll wrap up the session.
sure.
So please wait for 30 seconds. Let's see if they have any question or not.
Okay. Okay. So meanwhile, so if there are anyone who is like in their final semester or in the final year of their college and who wants to start an job in AI based startups, which is observe.ai, you can share your resumes to my email ID. I think Shaurya, you have it right. I think you can put it on
No,
the
I
chat.
I don't have your email ID, sir.
Okay. Okay,
Please
take it.
please drop it in the chat section. I will just send it to our community.
Sure. So they can actually share their profiles, and we are actually looking for some new fresh grads who can actually learn new technologies and yeah.
That's perfect, sir. That's perfect.
Uh,
People, I'm just putting email ID of sir in the message section. So if anybody of you is interested in AI and have some knowledge, then just contact us, sir.
okay.
Yes, sir. I've shared your email ID. Sir,
Okay.
we have a question. Sir, can you please suggest some ideas which we can start in AI field?
Ideas. Okay. I can suggest you to learn mm, name Bayes algorithm and SVC algorithm, and you can try to set up an AI model. I think you should find some really good walkthrough guides in YouTube. So let's say me and Shaurya are doing a chat, and we have been chatting for about 50 days. And if you give the system, for example, a good morning in GUD it should say who would be the speaker. You can actually do it. It's just a small project, but the learning is huge. You can use these algorithms, SVC and name Bayes, and you can find the differences in accuracy between these two algorithms, right? So I would say this will be a good start if anyone is trying to start here.
Got, sir. Got. So thank you people for joining us. Thank you, sir, for providing huge knowledge to our community. It Your knowledge was really helpful. We really learned a lot, and yep. Uh,
Okay.
yes. So people, see you in the next event. Till then, keep learning, keep enjoying. Hope you enjoyed this session. See you in the next event.